Hey guys! I've been wanting to make something Subnautica related for a while, and I thought this would be the perfect time to do it to celebrate Below Zero's launch. I've only encountered the ice worm a few times in the game, but when I think of Below Zero, I think of the ice worm, so I decided to make that. As usual, I used Super Sculpey to sculpt the whole thing. And once again, the armature is pretty questionable, but it did its job. I looked at many different pictures and couldn't really understand what is going on the top of its head, so I improvised a little bit. When making art, it doesn't always have to be 100% the same as the original. Or at least that's what I tell myself to make me feel better that I made something wrong. It was also a little awkward filming it since my table is so small and I don't have a nice background, just my monitors. I really enjoy sculpting things, but I'm new at it, so it doesn't turn out quite as smooth as I want. I'll try my best to keep improving. I added wires inside the mouthpieces to help keep them in place. I usually bake the sculpture I'm making multiple times and make it in parts, but I decided to make this one all at once. It wasn't the best choice because I was holding it in my hand half of the time, but I didn't have any wooden blocks to mount it into. It took me forever to make these little pieces because I really hate making many things that are the same, so I was slacking. I also added wires in all of these side pieces. I did end up dropping the sculpture after it was done, and one of them broke, but you can't really see because it's the bottom one. I really have to stop breaking everything I make. I baked it on this tiny wooden base and there was nothing adhering the clay to it, so I was nervously looking at it every 20 seconds just waiting for it to fall and get ruined, but nothing happened. I didn't use enough Bacon Bond for some of the teeth, so the worm ended up needing a dentist after I started painting. I painted the stomach in an icy bluish-white color. I later went over it with a more blue wash, but it ended up too blue, so I fixed it with the previous base color. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but whenever I paint, I need so many layers, and by the end of the paint job, it just looks not smooth and weird. For these smaller details, I was also using a makeup brush because I don't have any good small brushes. Maybe that's part of the problem. I especially hate painting with lighter colors because those take even more layers, especially this orange. It was like 3 layers at least for it to look decent. The horn is actually superheated and allows the ice worm to melt through ice in order to burrow. And no, I didn't just make up superheated. That's what the official wiki says. I tried to replicate the heat effect with a bunch of gradients. I also covered the other orange details with a brighter yellow because they looked weird being plain orange. I used an old, disgusting looking piece of XPS foam for the base and glued the worm on there with 2-part epoxy glue. I made little bits to use as broken surface with polymer clay and covered the whole base in paper mache clay. It was my first time working with paper mache clay, so I didn't know what to expect, but it was alright. I would definitely recommend adding some glue underneath so it sticks better. I would have loved to make the base more ice and water with a bit of snow on top, but I don't have any epoxy resin at the moment, so I went for just snow instead. I also don't have any nice texture paste, so I made my own with baking soda, glue, and paint. It was looking a little bit too rough, so I smoothed it down with some water. I used some cotton pads and UV resin to imitate water splashing, and also added a few little flying snow pieces. Lastly, I glazed only the lower part of the worm and also the inside of its mouth. And that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye!